Welcome aboard.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Good morning. Welcome aboard.
Good morning. Good morning.
Monday, July 16th, 2012.
Yes, it is. There we go. There it is.
And Jimmy's here.
Yeah.
First problem of the day. Jimmy has left the show to get his own coffee. That shouldn't be too much of a problem when he gets back.
Zoinks.
Jimmy's tired. And there was no coffee here. The interns usually get the coffee.
Jimmy had a very busy weekend.
Yes.
And then other things, he was doing things. He was out at Comical Con, and then he comes back and had a wedding to go to, and then he didn't sleep very well last night, and then he comes in, and all Jimmy wants when he comes in is to have his cup of coffee because he's tired. He likes to, participate on this very early program, so coffee kind of, gets him going in the morning. And it's not like Jimmy doesn't always get coffee in the morning. Every fucking morning.
Oh, my God. Like clockwork.
But somebody was remiss in their responsibilities and did not get Jimmy his coffee. So now...
Well, see, radio has gotten so complicated that even just getting coffee is a major problem.
Is now a huge thing.
In the old days of radio, you had interns and you had people. Every single person could talk to the intern.
Right.
And you could go, hey, intern. I started out as an intern.
Yep.
And I was a fetch-it kid for a while there. That's just how radio works. Hey, kid, get me some coffee. Yes, sir. And you run out and get some coffee, and you hope you learn a little bit about radio. Fast forward a bunch of years, there's only, I think, E-Rock is allowed to talk to the interns and boss them around, and that's about it.
Is that
pretty
it?
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
E-Rock?
So somehow the intern didn't know that he had to go get Jimmy's coffee, even though
Does he not know?
Even though he gets Jimmy's coffee every day. And see, Kenny, who's very responsible. Kenny is all about details. Kenny would have picked up on the fact that Jimmy didn't have coffee, and I'm sure he did. But the problem is, Kenny's not allowed to talk to anyone.
He can't talk to the interns directly.
No. He could talk to E-Rock, and then E-Rock could talk to the interns.
And Kenny every morning would
is
be
this pure
like,
lunacy or what?
remember to get Jimmy his coffee, and it would be here every morning regardless.
Well, Kenny checks things off every morning.
Exactly.
So, if it was up to Kenny, Jimmy would never have to go get his own coffee.
Never. Because, you know what? Because Kenny knows if he was able to talk to the interns, if Kenny didn't have his coffee,
Kenny.
it would be Kenny's fault.
It is my fault.
How is it your fault? Because you didn't tell E-Rock?
No.
Yes, and because I'm very tired this morning because I went to that wedding too.
Oh, boy.
So it's solely my responsibility because I should have taken the initiative
And told
to tell Eric to tell the intern.
Well, long story short, Jimmy got so frustrated he just walked out to get his own coffee.
Yeah.
So
And I feel bad. It's totally my fault.
There's just too many steps to do things in this new world.
It's not your fault.
It is your fault, Kenny.
No, it is. You're absolutely right.
Let's go with Kenny's fault.
I take 100% responsibility for this faux pas.
And
I wouldn't.
And is this his coffee
do.
coming down the hall, even though Jimmy went and got his own?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm scared.
Oh no.
When Jimmy gets back, I'm going to be a little scared. Jimmy is going to be out of his mind. Ooh, I got coffee.
There you go. It's Jimmy's coffee. It's
There's
famous.
Jimmy's coffee.
That's famous now. It's Jimmy's coffee.
You want to bet that's going to be in the garbage as soon as he gets back?
Or lobbed against somebody's head.
Coffee right on time. Thank you.
Oh,
no.
Just a few minutes late. That's all. I'm good.
Yeah.
If I may quote somebody.
Yeah.
Coffee diva. Come on. Let's keep the memory alive here. Coffee diva.
It was not fun yesterday.
Well.
I went up there.
Oh, you did.
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, yes, I did. Me and E-Rock took the long ride.
Whoa.
Into the saddest town I've ever been to.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It was the saddest town I've been to.
Yeah.
And then you had the wake, which was beyond sad. Open coffin. There's our pal. It's laying there.
Jesus.
There's our pal Steve C. just laying there.
Well, that's
This town was. How depressing was this town, E-Rock? I mean, driving into town, you're going to something really sad.
Is it an old broke coal town or something?
I believe
That's exactly
so.
what I was going to say. You remember know those videos when they show you the old coal boom and the steel boom?
Yeah.
How these were thriving cities, and everything has not changed throughout the existence of this city. Like, whatever was built in that time is still there. Nothing's new. The roads aren't paved correctly, and
there's not even a hint of a new paint job on anything.
No.
I mean, anything. A fence post, a sign, a storefront, nothing.
one
town,
theater, movie theaters.
The town was just gray.
Wow.
I would call if you had to talk about the color of the town, it would be gray. There was no color in this entire town. It was just a lot of fading storefronts.
That's pretty much it.
Fading houses. The houses were kind of kept up, but it was just a very sad town.
Yeah.
And then we got to the funeral home, and that just put it over the top, obviously.
Ugh.
He didn't live. He lived about 40 minutes away from there. They chose a sad town, I think.
What?
Well, they don't want the memory of
Besmirching the town
that they live in, so
Right.
they decided to do all this sadness somewhere else. I do believe, because he didn't live anywhere as close to where we were.
That's a good idea, so you don't have to drive past the place every day
And all that, right?
Yeah, I never thought of that. There you go.
It was horrific.
Wow.
I'll tell you this much: it was the worst wake I've ever been to,
Whoa.
including my own father.
Holy shit cakes.
Jimmy got his coffee.
Hi, Jimmy.
We just went over the whole coffee thing.
You got 2 coffees now.
There, so you got your coffee right there. You
Got
it.
back up.
There's your coffee.
That's just irritating. It's like,
Of course it is.
And I didn't want to yell at you, Rock, because I know I'm overtired.
Yes,
and
you
I'm
did.
cranky.
Yeah.
But it's like, how fucking hard is it? And it's like, because Kenny's not allowed to talk to the interns.
Oh, boy.
It's like every morning he would just go, okay, can you guys get coffee? But now he's not allowed to do that. It's like this. It's just that systematic.
And that's Kenny's. That's what Kenny knows how to do all that.
It's his forte.
That is his forte. It's just whatever.
Unbelievable.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I overreact.
The company knows what they're doing.
I'm just cranky and fucking tired, man.
I was just talking about. I went to the Steve C thing yesterday.
I wanted to go to that. I'm frustrated that I couldn't because of Jim's wedding.
I was telling Ann how it was the saddest wake I've ever been to, including my own father's.
Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, open casket, and then he has a 2-year-old and all the kid drawings that you normally see on a fucking refrigerator. Do you want me to get into this?
Oh, my God.
Or you want to just move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Stuff you normally would see on a refrigerator is now, on the lid of the coffin because it's an open casket. Him holding a teddy bear that obviously had something to do with him and his kid. It was horrendous. I don't think I've ever cried more in my life.
Jesus.
It was horrendous. I don't cry much. It was horrendous. Open casket, he looked great.
They always do.
He looked great.
It's amazing when you're dead. It's like, why don't these makeup people fucking help us when we're alive? The people look terrific when they're fucking off. Yeah, it's a miserable one.
MJ was beyond cool, and it's just we got to get a fund going.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do something this week, but it was the worst one I've ever been to. And unfortunately, you get to an age where you lose more friends than you gain. But this one was bad. Bad.
I didn't talk to her. I called her, and we it's like you just missed each other. How is she holding up?
Normal shit. No worse than, she's playing her part. She's playing her part. She's numb. Yeah, right. She's fucking out of her mind. She's got a 2-year-old. and her daughter from another marriage, I believe, who's about 17.
Oh, okay.
I think 16 or 17. Her. Looks just like her. Yep. Me and E-Rock took the long ride. It was horrendous.
The ride with E-Rock?
We kind of, in a weird way, enjoyed ourselves, like just talking. And,
is he back on your hero list, E-Rock?
Reminiscing and.
Come on.
He moved up a level.
Aw, that's nice.
Well, you can't go through something like that and then come back to work and think it's like, It changes.
You fucking went through like a little combat shit together.
It changes.
It's like
a
you're war buddies now.
It changed a little bit.
Where was it?
It was in a tiny little...
It was just outside of Scranton.
Scranton. In a tiny little town. And for the people, I'm sure we have just maybe a couple listeners from that area. The town is horrendous.
Yeah.
Which didn't help matters, obviously. It was just a horrible, old, gray town. The town just looks sad.
People asking any road sodas on the way. Any road sodas.
Well, after it was all over, I go, you want to get a beer? And Iraq just goes, yes. So then I'm trying to find a place where maybe we could have a beer. And then
fight at the local fucking...
Well,
the local Pennsylvania bar.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
We saw 4 or 5 bars.
Oh, boy.
And every single one of them, the windows were blocked out.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm like, I don't think it's a good idea to go into any of these local bars.
There's shit
I don't
going
know
on in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in these places. So we ended up getting a really sad slice of pizza. Even the pizza place was sad. At one point, it was one of the few jokes. I go, I feel like I'm in a Quentin Tarantino movie. We're eating pizza in this room that's all just paneling and has like kind of Harley Davidson.
Looks like where they're going to plan the heist or the murder.
Right.
Yeah.
And a TV on that just has this. What was on the TV? It was like an old show or
Hallmark
something.
Hall of Fame movie.
It was just like where it couldn't have been. It couldn't be a worse day, to be honest with you.
What a horrible place.
And the lady that was serving
was so depressed.
She was sad. She was probably about 24, 25, looking at us with this like distant look.
Take me with you.
Basically, I was going to say that.
With
You beat me to the punch. Like distant look in her eyes, like just take me with you. And the pizza was bad.
Yikes.
Pizza tastes like something you would just get in a supermarket and cook at home. I don't know. This is a rough one.
There was a lot of people there, and I think
a lot of people.
95% we didn't
know anybody. We literally didn't know anybody. Drew Boogie was there. That was pretty much the only person I knew. Pretty much it.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's just whatever.
That sounds like a fucking move. Oof.
Do we know anything else about it, or do we not know?
Oof.
No.
Opie's face is just like... I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit.
No one likes that shit.
You can't unforget it, is what it is.
But no one likes that shit, Ant.
I know.
You're not alone.
No, I know, but what the
last thing I wanted to do yesterday was drive all the way up there to see our pal.
Do that. I don't get it. I just don't understand the whole fucking thing.
You do it for the people that are still alive.
No.
Like
How about a fucking phone call and flowers or something? I can't deal with going to a fucking place like that and remembering that.
Why are you getting mad?
You know what? I'm getting mad at the whole system.
Oh. Well, MJ can't deal with it, so what do? I went up to her, I hugged her, I cried like a baby. We were both shaking. She's like, what am I going to do? I go, well, we'll try to do what we can for you. I know our listeners are great, and we'll set up some kind of fund, and hopefully that'll help a little bit at least.
Yeah.
I said, don't worry about everything. She was just like piling on everything, and I'm just like, wow, what do you say to someone? So let's just try to get through the next few days. That's your whole job. Just get through the next few days. Don't worry about all this other shit right now.
2 years old. This kid's 2 years old. Right?
2 years old. Like how does that work in his mind? How does the kid grow up?
I don't know.
She goes, this kid needs to know that Steve, loved him. And I'm like, we'll do our job.
Steve, man.
I just kept calling Steve.
Fuck, dude.
Steve. So.
Yikes.
You want to add anything? My road partner?
Or wait?
Man, some of the stories I don't think we should tell on the air about how his son's been dealing with this, and
oh boy,
it was. If you haven't been devastated by anything, this was just. It was so difficult that he doesn't know yet, and he's not going to know for a while that his dad's not around. And well, one thing she told me was, I was asking how he was doing. Is he here? No, they had him at a babysitter. He's not fully aware yet. And the day before, he's just going around the place going, Dad, Dad, Dad. And Dad's not there. So he got frustrated, went to the top of the stairs, and just started yelling, Steve, trying to find him.
Yikes.
And I don't know. It's just so heartbreaking.
That's miserable. It's fucking miserable.
Holy Toledo.
I'm still shaking. It was a bad day yesterday, man.
Ugh.
It was horrendous. But I don't know. This was a weird one.
I know you guys talked about it Friday while we were gone, but fuck, man, he was a funny dude. He took a beating better than anybody. Like, but I mean, not like a victim, but like a funny guy takes a beating. Like Steve really took it when we kill him.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And
bash him.
but he got it. You know what I mean? He
got it better than anyone.
He fucking really did, man.
And
he's a funny guy.
He knew that he could beat the shit out of any one of us.
Yeah.
And I remember the times like you would be riding him hard in a good natured way, by the way. And then he would just like grab you, and you'd be like, "Oh no!"
Like rub his beard on my head.
Right.
Sam reminded me that he'd rub his beard on me.
And he would just diffuse the whole situation. I'll remember his laugh. He had one of the best, silliest, fucking goofiest, fucking innocent laughs ever.
I liked when he would try to diffuse a teasing. Like he'd walk in and we'd go, "Yes," and he'd go, "Yes, I get it, I'm gay." He's like, he was trying that old trick of fucking cutting the teasing off at the
Never
pass.
works.
No, stupid, that's not going to work.
Shit.
You didn't tell those stories. You had some fucking funny ones, Sam. Some shit that they did to him. It's just funny.
Say something, man, because
like things that he wishes Steve knew.
Yeah, because we used to, like, that's the thing that people don't like, you know, as much as we fucked with him on the air, like you were saying about his laugh, like, we used to laugh our balls off with him off the air, you know what I mean? And we would like to let him in when we were playing pranks on him.
right.
But, like, we would do things, like, I would always, because his mind would get so cluttered up with stuff while the show was on. So I used to, while we were at K-Rock, I would take his BlackBerry when he was in the studio or something, and he had like a private office, and I would throw his BlackBerry under his desk. Like, not hidden or anything, just right under his desk. And then we would walk over to, and he wouldn't know I did it, and we'd walk over to XM, and I'd do it like once every 2 months, so that way he didn't realize it was a regular thing. But he would flip out and start throwing things because he thought he lost his BlackBerry. And he'd have to walk back to K-Rock, and he would think that he dropped his BlackBerry under his desk every time.
The funny thing is, Steve will never know that this prick was doing that. But it is a funny thing to do to your boss, just to throw his BlackBerry under the desk. Like, what a dick move.
Every so often.
But it's a funny thing.
Yeah.
And
Steve would have like yelled at me and said, "God damn it, Sam," and then he would have laughed because it was funny.
Well, what was David, intern David?
Oh yeah. Steve would get so mad, and then he would start laughing. This one he was in on, obviously, because he had his private office at K-Rock, and I remember one time he was on the phone, and we used to always remember the noises that he made when we caught him warming up his voice, going,
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So Travis and me used to stick our heads in his office while he was on the phone and just go, "Ah!" And he would slam the door shut because he was trying to conduct business. And so one time he slammed the door shut, and I had intern David put a cup up to the door and stick his ear on the cup. And then I took a picture of it on my phone and texted him while he was in the office on his phone. And he just came out and started screaming at David, even though he knew we'd put him up to it. Just to watch David get all scared.
I forgot about the Martini Steve song.
Oh, yeah.
Martini Steve. I forgot it. Do we have that?
We should play some of this stuff today, Rock. We only played a couple things on Friday.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about, I didn't realize.
Martini Steve. Martini Steve.
All right.
It's Martini Steve.
That was his walk-in
Yeah, I
music.
forgot about
that.
Every time he came down the hall.
But we were also, Jim and me were talking about just like how great Steve was at just coming up with the most ridiculous things. Like as far as production and bits on the show, like he was the best at coming up with stuff that had nothing to do with anything we had talked about on the show. Like just the most random pieces of production that were always like like Jim had forgotten that Steve and me made that series, The Inventor and Epstein.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I think everyone tried to forget it.
You got one of those?
I'll never forget the brainstorming sessions that Steve and me would have about trying to figure out how we could have Epstein shove something up his ass.
Right, it was always shoving something up his ass.
You got that, Eric?
Yeah, I have one here.
Steve would just howl at these premises.
Yeah, he had a weird sense of humor.
He was a bizarre dude.
Man, when he started laughing.
It was always shoving
very-
something up your ass or hitting a lady with a shovel.
And when he started laughing, it would get everyone else laughing.
You're so right about remembering his. It was just, he was had this giant teddy bear laugh.
And it would get everyone else going.
Except, and he would howl and howl, except this giant teddy bear laugh would be at things like shoving things up people's asses and hitting women with shovels.
Hitting women with shovels.
There wasn't a rape in this country that he couldn't chortleize.
You got one of those, Eric? This is what we're talking about. Sam's talking about.
Epstein! Epstein! Look and see what I've concocted. This conveniently sized apparatus will transform any ordinary tap water into a combustible fuel to be used in automobiles. It will revolutionize energy consumption as we know it. Please handle it gently. It's the only one of its kind.
Quite impressive. It's most compact. Perhaps it would fit in mein Heine?
No! Epstein! No! No, Epstein, no!
It's pointy.
It's just one of a... Oh, don't pour grease all over it!
It's going in.
Epstein!
It's almost there. It's in mein Heine.
Right. Back to the drawing board then. Do you know how
You're
long?
crying.
Because I'm just thinking about
my
how
God.
long and hard Steve laughed when we came up with his catchphrase, which was "in my
In mine Heine. That's a great
Which
catchphrase.
is like hours we spent laughing and writing these ridiculous things that when we put them on the air, you guys were all like,
What is this?
What is this?
The joke was basically over as soon as he said he wanted to put it in his hiney, but then it kept going with fucking buzzsaws.
Yeah.
Let's make it last longer.
I forgot. The other thing was that sound effect of the hammering in the metal object.
yeah.
He would just howl at the idea of something being hammered into his rectum.
Mein Heine.
Mein Heine.
I think the Uncle Paul theme song is my favorite piece of production
Yeah,
ever
that's
done on the show.
very good.
I mean, I'm not saying there's not been better ones. It's just my personal
Right, sure.
favorite. I don't know why that one just, it's fucking so good. He came up with some fucking really funny
You
shit,
want the
man.
jingle here?
Yeah, of course.
Who's that old guy over there? Uncle Paul, with the creepy old guy stare. Uncle Paul, now he's coming over here, slowly limping down the hall. It's too late now, 'cause here comes Uncle Paul.
It was great.
Yeah.
That's really good.
When just how great that Uncle Paul jingle is. When he left, you know, we redid a lot of stuff. Like we redid the intro to the FU line because it could be redone. But you know, when it was time to do the first Uncle Paul since he left, we were like, why the fuck are we gonna?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. That intro had to stay. It was
Well,
too
yeah,
good.
but that's just a testament to, like, you know, when he would hit something, you know, out of the park, like there was no. You couldn't beat that.
Somebody texted or Twittered something. A lot of the fans Twittered interesting memory, like things that I had forgotten, because I forget fucking what we talked about 10 minutes ago. But they're like, he was a big part of like the fabric of the show, and it's like Ramon, like hours of fucking or whatever it was, the amount of calls that came from that. But that all came from fucking Steve from Yellowstone,
right?
It's, you know, it's a tribute to that dum-dum. It was fucking.
Well, he came up with the whole.
He's a bear.
He came up with the whole Ramon.
That was, but that was what I'm saying. It was
and then you took it and made it your own.
I made it nonsense,
Made it
but
different.
that was all because of Steve. Like that Ramon calls never would have happened if he didn't do the bit Ramon.
That was another one where we were like,
What's happening
fuck
here?
Did that come?
What is this?
What is this?
You got one of the original Ramon production pieces, Eric?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Hang on.
I remember every time he would have a new Ramon bit, you know, he'd bring it in, and there was 30 minutes right there because you guys would play it, and then there would just be silence, What the fuck are you doing?
Then we just pick it apart.
That was
pick
some of the-
every bit of it apart.
That was some of the first original production for the satellite radio show, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. The remote.
Most of my on-air shit stirring started because Steve had finally had enough of me, and he pulled me into his office, and he was like, Sam, you have to stop fucking around so much, unless it's for on the air. Stop fucking around.
Oh, well then.
So I never forget that talk because I was like, okay, he's right.
Well, that was the best advice he gave you because I used to get frustrated about you because I'm like, he's doing all this crazy shit, but no one even knows he's doing it except the 4 interns and maybe Steve or somebody.
Yeah.
Like, bring that shit to the air.
And that's what I did. I'll never forget him telling me that because at that moment I was like, okay, I have to try to get every single shitty thing about everybody on the air.
On the air.
You would just come up with things for Bobo to do, and I'm like, yeah, but no one knows about this except for a couple people that work at the station.
Sam and I have we have a dozen things we never got to do to Steve's office that we.
Yeah, because we love to prank him so much. Like, we always wanted to do, like...
Because he could take a joke better than anyone else. Like, there's some people that just... You can't fuck with them because they can't take a joke. Like, no matter how long you've known them. But he was almost so happy to be gotten because he could enjoy a joke, you know what I'm saying?
He was the only guy... Steve loved being part of the joke, even if he didn't... Like, he knew what was going on all the time.
Yeah.
Like years ago, he was like, Sam, what do you want for breakfast on your birthday? And I told him I wanted 50 chicken biscuits from McDonald's. And so he sent an intern out to get 50 chicken biscuits. Even though he knew we were going to be like, why would you send somebody out to... Because he knew it would be funny.
Hey, you guys suck. You guys sucked. I was bashing him. Well, of course, I jumped into it every now and then.
He used to text me and say when he was going to be late that, like, the Helix was backed up or the Holland Tunnel was backed up. And at one point, like, I just got tired of it, so I replied to one of his texts, error 404. And he came in and he goes, did you get my text? And I was like, no. He's like, oh, yeah, because I got back, I got error 404. I'm like, yeah, I guess never texted me again that he was going to be late.
What a genius thing that is. Yeah, Sam told me that in San Diego. I never knew you guys did. That's funny.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, when he was the only one that he was the only one that couldn't make it in the snowstorm. Everybody else made it.
We played that on Friday.
We played a few of the other.
What was the quote that you kept saying when he was talking about his Mondays?
Oh, I'm a man of leisure.
No, the other one where he was explaining, nobody articulated to him.
I read that. Nobody articulated they had a problem with it.
Then he decided he was going to take Mondays off for the foreseeable future.
And he insisted, I didn't say I was going to take every Monday off. And then we read the email, and he said for the foreseeable future. And he argued that for the foreseeable future does not mean every Monday.
Two of my favorite production pieces are the Steve C. taking off Monday's Ferris Bueller trailer thing and
we gotta play that too. Yeah,
the I'm a little teapot thing. Which is probably my favorite, and we don't play it anymore because he's gone. So it doesn't make any sense.
I forgot about that. I forgot about what was the song about him being gay? The gay cat. There was so many things.
Well, we did the gay
cat bit was really funny.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we did that one on Friday.
Yeah.
That's one of the best ones ever.
And like for the people who really don't realize how much of, how much in on what was going on Steve was, he brought Pendulum himself to the air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he knew that this is
this'll
what
work.
is good for the show.
This'll work.
He was an amazing good sport.
And almost
he was
nobody,
always a good sport.
I don't know who else would have specifically known, oh my God, they are going to kill me for this.
Right.
I could not tell them it exists, or I could let them enjoy this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
What do you got, Eric? You got any of this stuff?
Yeah, I have a Ramon sweeper, Steve C's day off. Steve
I want
Brick
one of the
House.
I want one of the Ramon production pieces.
Yeah.
He had all sorts of little stories and scenarios.
Yeah, production piece. Okay, and also the house. I want the house one, too.
Okay.
Because that's so much came from that.
To the Opie and Anthony. Who It's in my shoes. Ramon, clean this up.
There's no reason for it.
Ramon.
Wasn't it Steve who sat down with Poe for the hurricane evacuation plan?
Right. Oh, man.
Remember how funny that was?
That goes on for a while, though.
Yeah.
The one thing about Steve, he was an old school radio guy like most of us.
Yeah.
And Lee Abrams took him aside at XM and said, "Look, man, we want production for XM that is just nothing you would, hear on FM radio." And Steve took that direction and got a spark went off in his head, like, holy crap, right on. And he went with it. One of the only production guys that truly went with it after Lee Abrams made that little speech that he wanted everything to be extremely different than regular radio.
He picked up a hammer, found a women, and put a jingle.
But I mean, that's why you got some of that crazy shit. He had some crazy shit in that head of his.
When I started doing AJ Poopy Shit's production pieces, Steve forced me to do them. He heard me doing the voice, and he forced me into a production studio.
Sounds
and
like
made
something
me
he
do
would
the
enjoy,
character.
yes.
He was right, though.
He liked trying to make people better.
Yeah, he did.
He liked trying to make people better, and he was really good at encouraging people coming up. And there he is.
He was a nice guy, man. And it sounds like a really trite thing to say, but there was nothing mean about him.
No. Heart of gold. I said this, I don't know if we said it on Friday. Heart of gold. Never hurt anybody.
Never
always looked
vindictive.
out for you. Always had my fucking back. Always.
Yeah.
And, when you do radio as long as we did together, there's ups and downs. But in the end, he always had my fucking back.
He could beat the fuck out of somebody.
Easily.
He knew that. He knew that, but he also knew that,
Yeah. In the old days when he was bouncing up there on Lansdowne Street.
Bouncing. He was bouncing for our NEW show, too, if you remember.
Rack some head.
He was always there.
made
Always.
Norton and me laugh hard. Do you remember the time he showed up to work with no eyebrows?
What was that about again? I forgot about that. You're bringing up stuff I actually forgot about.
He was grooming.
Just now.
He was grooming his eyebrows.
I was grooming.
And he fucked it up, right?
And he fucked one up. And then he tried to get the other
Make
one
it even.
and he ended up shaving one off, so he just shaved the other one off.
Then he,
no eyebrows.
we're all just completely creeped out. But the lie there is that he was always trying to get a new look going for himself.
Yeah.
So I guarantee that he did that on purpose.
That he was just trying to figure out something?
He knew none of us would understand why a human being would actually purposely shave their eyebrows. So he had to come up with a story. But knowing Steve, he was always trying to do something a little different.
Yeah, he would always come in with a weird haircut or his facial hair done strange or whatever.
Awful culottes.
Right.
Yeah.
His facial hair always looked like one that you picked in a video game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like as you're just scrolling through fucking different beards for your fucking warrior.
Yeah, something you would never want to try because it was too much work.
He always looked like a creator wrestler.
Wait, is that his hair? Is that one of his? He texted me that.
What is it?
I'm going to Twitter a picture of fucking a Steve hairdo that Travis has.
Which
Oh,
one?
let me see
Which
this
one you
one.
got?
They
I remember that one. That was the bowl cut.
Oh, that was the bird's nest.
The bird's nest.
He shaved it all the way around his entire head. It looked like a bird's nest on top.
Do you remember when he
man.
came in, started wearing the denim jacket because everyone was making fun of for his flame clothes or whatever?
For his flame clothing.
The one day he wore those capris, we bashed him.
Yeah.
And then he went on OutQ and got bashed. And then Forrest Griffin from UFC came in here and started making fun of him.
I didn't mind it, though.
No, he didn't care. He knew. He was like, no, this is my look.
And he was kind of happy about it.
My
Fashion.
culottes.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't, like, when we made him go into OutQ, he wasn't like, no, I'm not, he went right in because he knew.
Of course he did.
I have another Ramon if you want.
Yeah, just play it.
Sweet oral pleasure. Such a talented little heroin addict. Oh dear. Overdose. Ramon. Get the wood chipper.
That's a stinger for the Opie and Anthony show.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't even mention anything about the radio.
I don't know if Lee Abrams had that in mind, but you get my point. Holy shit. It's just
holy shit.
Remember when we did the animation festival? How many different Steve C animations
a
there
lot
were?
of Steves in the animation festival, yeah.
Everybody loved him.
There's a good one up on our Facebook, Opie and Anthony. It's Steve's Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Oh, my God.
Where they animate him as Yogi Bear coming out of his cave and flying in his Jetsons car.
All right. That was a really good one.
That was a great one.
Can I see that?
Steve from Yellow.
Opie and Anthony is one word on Facebook.
It's not a Coke Logic one, is it?
No, it's somebody else.
Yes. Painting.
Don't worry, Bear Happy.
Oh my God. That's very good.
A virus cartoon.
Don't worry, Bear Happy. Holy shit.
It's a great cartoon of Steve
fucking
C.
animation.
Holy fuck.
Constellation Martini glass.
Constellation Martini glass.
Yellowstone National Park.
With a Foundry watermark.
The rooster saying this. Wow. Wow.
Scroll. This is good.
This is so well made. He's all hunched over in a little Jetsons car. He barely fits. Holy shit, man. All of us sitting there in the studio.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
That's amazing.
That's great.
What a great fucking
That's how you
cartoon.
executive produce folks.
Kenny at the end.
You should repost that, Eric.
That is
That's
an
on the top.
amazing animation.
Yeah.
What was it? He was just warming up his voice, and then we put that to song, right?
Yeah, that's when we had him going ba 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 ba.
But that was so, like, that's just great.
John Meehan did that?
Yeah, it was really good.
God, that's
2008 was the animation
I
festival.
know. We can't get another one going because
4 years ago.
I don't know why.
Because
Whatever.
oh, that's
Whatever.
right. I don't have a reason. We
Whatever.
don't know why not.
No more bitching. Who gives a fuck? Doesn't matter. They just don't get it.
That was a big success.
And something we
Continued success.
something we could be proud of too. We were very proud of
few
that.
things we can be proud of here.
Yeah.
We like getting out there and getting down and dirty. We're going to announce where we're going to be next, maybe after the break. But that was something we could truly be proud of, man.
Why do we gotta wait so long to announce these things?
I get it.
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
What?
I don't know.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, what are you, deep dishing or something?
Exactly, Chippa.
Steve's breakfasts used to drive everybody insane in the
They
office.
smell?
And we all
so bad.
We all vocalized to him, Steve, you have, because they'd be like leftover meatloaf or whatever it was, and it would just be the most fragrant sort of, and it would fill up the whole office. And every day he would come in and he'd just hold it up, and he would hold it up to your face if you complained.
Eggs and shit. They
Energy drinks and
literally
Diet
smelled
Mountain
like
Dew.
shit.
Literally like
It
shit.
literally smelled like shit. You guys just got to do a radio show and you didn't have to smell it.
That fucking hairdo stinks.
The bird's nest. Did you tweet it?
I'm going to right
Yeah,
now.
you should. Oh, cock meat. Everyone wants.
Oh, yeah,
remember that one.
You
cockweed.
got that?
Yeah, let me see.
His production was beyond unique, man.
Yeah, that's a guy. He was a unique fucking dude, man. Stupid Steve.
Cock meat. Nothing but cock meat.
That was his vocal. That was his warm up.
Warming up.
You would just say it.
Razzle dazzle.
Oh, yeah. Remember Razzle Dazzle?
Yep.
Actually made it onto
Razzle.
Lost.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yeah. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, boy. Bon voyage. Bon voyage. That does stink.
It's awful. That haircut is fucking abysmal.
So he's trying something.
bleached his hair.
He bleached it.
Remember that?
He tried everything.
He was always looking for a look.
And he would come into work, and everybody would be like, "What are you doing, dude?" Like, what? Come out of nowhere.
Yeah, didn't he know he had to come in here eventually with that look?
Steve did everything I did when I was 16.
She's nice and my cat, just letting it all hang out. She's a I like lady stack, that's a fact. Ain't holding nothing back. She's a well put together, everybody knows.
There's so many of these. Just him making noises.
We would be so loud with those noises while he was on the phone.
He's trying to fucking make a call.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this one was good.
Do we have the house one?
Which one?
The house.
In
with
my
Bill?
house.
Oh, God,
the
yeah.
acting one.
Yeah, the acting one.
Oh, was that horrible?
How did your parents die?
Yeah.
But the mileage we got out of that fucking piece.
Oh, my God.
And what was that based on again?
It was just you guys were trying to figure out something for Wild Bill to do.
Wild.
And then,
right.
And you punished Steve by making him produce all of Wild Bill's skits.
Right.
And he would come up with these things.
Wild Bill was trying to come up with a movie.
Right. And
That's
Steve,
right. And
Steve
he came in with some unfinished shit.
And Steve had to produce all of them and take Wild Bill's direction.
Good old Wild Bill. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I saw him.
You've seen him.
Yeah, he came to a gig or after a gig or a signing. I was doing something. I saw him afterwards. He said,
Was he
hello.
drunk?
No, he seemed okay. He seemed like
He seemed okay.
Just wondering. Every time I saw him out at an event, hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that, Eric?
I'm looking for that one. It's been a while for that.
That's
one.
probably the most famous.
Yeah, you have the drops in your replay.
Yeah,
but I'm
the
trying to
Steve-
find the
I
actual
want drops.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want the piece.
The context.
Just find other
Yeah.
stuff after the break that we can play too, you know?
Yeah.
He will be missed. And much too young, man.
37.
37. Holy
I thought
fuck.
he was older just 'cause I knew him so long.
Yeah, he started with us at a very young age.
He did my first 2 CDs. He fucking put them transferred them or whatever, or did the breaks. I went to his house, and I remember him meeting me on the corner in New York. It was like a drug deal, and dropping off the masters to me. But people forget he was back from the old days, the NEW days, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, I knew him all through the off time.
His website was incredibly important to the success of the show.
At one point, it was very important.
In
to
the
show.
early days
Yeah.
of the Opie and Anthony show, like when no one was really keeping up a good website.
Yeah.
He had that Foundry music. Holy fuck. You know, we beat him up for the watermark, but the fact remains that
The watermark.
he really helped with our success in the early days, especially. No one was putting videos up like he was. Nobody
No.
was. And
That was huge.
It was just too much work and too time-consuming, but he took that on. That was his in for the show, actually. He was a fan, and he started the website, and then he started sending me tapes. He was working for an oldies station in Jersey.
Oh, is that how he got? He was there before I got there.
Oh, yeah. And then somehow, I'm trying to remember how he got hired. Somehow I passed it on to Jeremy or whatever, and there was a production position open. So he technically wasn't working for our show at first. He was just in the building, and then he would do as much as he could for our show in between, doing production.
Because after you guys left, he was still working for Blink or whatever the station was, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
miserable.
He was
Yes,
there
he
at
was.
Blink.
He wasn't contracted to you guys, so they couldn't fire him.
They didn't like the Ramon bits at Blink.
And
He officially couldn't get fired. Yeah,
Yeah.
because people don't know when the NEW days, Steve technically was not part of our show, which is surprising because he was there all the time, helping us out with whatever he
He
could,
actually
and doing the
skated.
website.
Wow.
And doing the website.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a direct connection to us. But, those bastards at CBS, they were like, fuck, we can't fire this guy because they want to fire everybody and make it hurt. When Steve was able to, keep his job back then.
Yeah.
That horrible Blink shit that they tried.
Yeah, Blink. Do you remember when he did those Blink parody production pieces for this show?
I just forgot about that until right now. Yeah, find all that shit. Find whatever you can.
I found the Wild Bill. So
let's hear that.
Let's hear that.
The Opie and Anthony Show presents a Wild Bill production.
Due to the massive critical acclaim and commercial success of the Van and Sam Show, XM202 is proud to present a new Opie and Anthony spin-off, a program that will surely take the radio world by storm, announcing Steve C. and his best friend Bill. Starring Opie and Anthony's own Steve C. and his best friend forever, Bill the Intern, who is sensible, articulate, and certainly not crazy.
Hello? Anyone home? Hello? Hiya, Steve. Swell condo.
What are you doing in my house?
Why are you pissed off? What's your fucking problem?
What's my problem? You're in my fucking house.
The door was open. I thought your wife was gonna cook us a nice organic dinner.
Honey, is there a problem?
No, nothing's wrong. Just stay in the living room. I'll handle it. Bill, get the fuck out now.
I can't leave.
Why not?
My parents
Why
just
not?
died, and you're my legal guardian.
That's terrible. I'm sorry. How'd your parents die?
In their sleep?
Bill again!
Every one of his lines.
But getting back to Sam's point, I'm dying because he didn't want to do.
No, he thought it was so dumb. And
He was all in. He was all fucking in. Like, all right, this is what the guys need from me today. That's what I mean by always having our back.
He was in on the bit.
Whatever he needed, he would do. He would never argue the point, ever. He didn't want to do that.
We picked every one of those lines apart for hours.
Why not?
Every one of his lines became a line.
They still get used. Like out of nowhere, it'll be, how did so and so die?
Yeah. Or why not?
Yeah. Get the fuck out now.
Wait, You're right though. He still went 100%.
100%.
Just even though he didn't want to do it at all. You were punishing him.
Right.
For not. I mean, there was,
not punishing him. We knew it would just be good radio.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck. Well, we got to take care of MJ and Xander, and MJ's other kid there a little bit.
I don't think I ever met her other daughter.
Yeah,
I knew her. Yeah, she was a sweetheart, MJ. And the
MJ's
baby
great.
I saw.
MJ's great. She was all in with Steve, man. She fucking loved. She loved him, man, big time.
When he got
fucking time.
So happy when he started dating her too.
Yeah. We got Eric. Where are we at with a fund? How do we do this? Does anyone know? We want a website where you could donate to Steve's 2-year-old son Xander and his wife MJ that he leaves behind, and MJ's daughter there, and we want to set it up in a way where most of the money goes to her instead of like fees and all that crap. Yeah. Who knows how to do this shit?
We're figuring that out today. We should have it to announce tomorrow morning.
All right. It's the least we could do.
Yeah.
I found some Blink stuff if you want to hear that.
Yeah, of course.
Emanating from the center of my toilet. I've been sitting here for hours. Strain, struggle, splash. My legs have fallen asleep. What day is it? Opie and Anthony.
Now, we got to explain. After we left NEW, and they blew up the place, and they turned it into this weird female format called Blink, and that's how their production sounded, except it was boring shit. So Steve's like, all right, I'm going to fucking go with that and make some shit for O&A.
And when you told Steve to just come up with some random shit, there was nobody who had more random shit in his head. Like, any time you asked him to come up with, just throw some random shit in there, you'd look at him like, how could you have possibly thought of that?
Yeah.
You know?
Blink.
Fucking Blink. I forgot about that.
And who was the voice of Blink?
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes, it was Kiefer Sutherland.
And that's why he won't do any production anymore.
Why?
Because they didn't tell him that he was going to be the voice of that station.
He thought it was a one-off.
Yeah, he thought he was just doing, like liners that we do. So now, whenever he does, radio or TV, he doesn't do liners anymore.
So he thought it was just, this is Keither, you're listening to...
They gave him a page of liners, and those bastards turned it into the voice of the station.
Yeah.
Oh,
so now, if he were to ever come do the show, which would just be the coolest thing in the world, and we said, hey, can you do some liners, he would politely decline. Because he's very polite.
Maybe if you sucked his dick, which you would.
Look, I mean,
in a second.
For the show.
For the show.
Do we have any Blink? I would love to hear one. I don't remember those.
I don't think I have the original Blinks in here.
It was pretty much the same exact thing you just heard, except just boring.
They did TV stuff.
No shit.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Terrible. I'm sorry.
Remember the big launch party with Mariah Carey or whatever they had?
Oh, God, yes.
It was a massive bust. They spent millions on that, too, right? Or $1 million, I think. It's a big article about how they're spending $1 million to relaunch the old NEW.
And it was how long did it last? 2 years?
Fuck, I don't know.
If that.
There was Blink 1, Blink version 2, and then it became Mix.
Oh my God, Mix!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yuck!
Mix 1027.
God, those assholes!
Soft adult contemporary.
Oh fucking, my stomach hurts. What is it now?
Well, then
now it's Fresh FM,
Which is doing well, I think.
It's CBS's version of
No,
Light FM.
it's doing just okay.
Is it?
It's not. It's
I
not
thought it was doing
great.
okay.
Well, then they brought back K-Rock too for a while.
Oh, God.
Oh, you're talking about AEW. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm lost. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
same company though.
No, you're
same
right.
Dumbbells.
No, they are doing well. You're right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that one's doing well.
I jumped to the K-Rock shit for a second there.
FM Fresh FM.
Fresh.
Remember FM Talk at 1027 when they try to make it
Talk you can't ignore.
Talk you can't ignore.
Well, they ignored it. We were doing sort of okay, and a few others
we were doing
sort of
fine.
okay. but
I don't have
in
this
general,
piece.
they
I gotta
ignored
find
it.
it. But one of
Yeah.
my favorite things you guys did was with the FM Talk, is you said how every show on this channel sucks, and you started changing your imaging. And it went from like 6 to 3 p.m. It was just static. Opie and Anthony 3 to 7, and then more static.
Could you find that?
I'm looking for it. I don't know if I have it in here.
We used to tell people to change the station when we were leaving. Okay, change the station now. Rest of this just sucks.
Who was after us? Was it Lycus at one point?
Lycus.
And then at one point, Don and Mike.
They were before. Then they went to middays
Man.
at one point, right?
Right.
But you used to tell everybody what was on K-Rock and Z100 before Lycus came on.
And we were. Those were the days we got away with murder. They didn't know how to handle that shit.
Told people to switch to K-Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, just switch to K-Rock right
We're
now.
done.
Go ahead,
We
we're
actually
done.
want to be on K-Rock, so we're going to listen to K-Rock on the way home. You guys should, too.
And we made the sound of the transmitter powering down.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is that you used to go long on purpose because he was on a syndicated clock. So he wouldn't be on in New York. You would just pot in his show after your commercials, and he'd be in the middle of
He'd
talking.
be in the middle of a break. What assholes.
The best, he thought he was safe, and he thought we were already on our way home when he started trashing us. And I think it was Ant this time was like, "That's it," and he gets up off his desk. He gets up out of his desk. I follow him in, and Lycus actually had the door locked just in case we weren't on the way home. And we're pounding on the door. Open the fucking door.
You mean Don and Mike or Lycus?
This was Lycus.
Oh wow.
Lycus.
He came in
Lycus
studio.
shit.
I don't remember that.
No, we went in his studio.
No, he actually came to New York.
New York,
though, to
I mean,
broadcast.
Oh yeah, he was he would do that, I'll be in New York for a week type
Yeah.
shit. And he decided to take massive shots at us, but he thought we were on our way home. We were hanging out in our office.
He came to New York for a week and no one cared.
Nope.
It didn't do a thing.
Nope.
But why wouldn't he open the door and argue? That would be so much more interesting. Oh, he did. Okay.
But then he had our mics off, so we had to scream through the whole thing. And they were those unidirectional, so you really, as soon as you're off the mic, it was like dead.
What a douchebag.
He was a douche.
Is he still on?
I think he's podcasting like everyone else.
Yeah, when they killed that FM talk station in L.A., they just said they canceled all his syndication and just paid him off.
Wow.
I think he does gardening and stuff now.
Gardening?
Yeah, he has a farm or something.
Is he retired?
He
I think
does
he's
things. He does
podcasting.
things here and there. I think he does a wine radio show too.
Ugh.
Huh?
That guy would really tell it like it is.
Or do a show about how to clean out a fireplace?
That's old school.
Remember that one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Someone say we should use the website that the bus lady got all her money from. Is that a good one?
They take a percentage, though.
Well,
They actually got
they
a
take a
percentage of the
percentage?
fucking bus lady's
I
money.
mean,
Wow.
It's a business.
yeah, some of these
They have to
most of these places
pay for their website.
Most of these places I understand will
Porn
take a
stars.
percentage. I just want the percentage to be low. That's what
I think they take like 3%.
That's what I'm getting at today.
And I don't think you're going to get less than that. Like, I know PayPal takes 3%.
Heck, I'll give you a 1 over prime.
3% is that's doable.
So yeah, you can use.
We don't want any of the money.
Indiegogo, I think you can use. You can set up an Indiegogo account.
Well, if anyone knows, I don't know, get a hold of Eric. We want to get this up tomorrow because Steve. I'm going to say it again. Steve leaves behind a 2-year-old. It's as bad as you can imagine. It was a horrible day yesterday. It was just sad. Just too young for this shit. And his wife is obviously a wreck. I mean, that's expected, of course.
Yeah, she left me a very sad message. We just miss each other on the phone.
Yeah.
Remember how you just blast a fart?
Yeah, nothing.
Trying to get some of the sadness.
It's the grief, you know.
No, it's all the air blowing in my fucking face with the apnea machine when I'm not sleeping. It's just building up, and my body's getting rid of it.
Oh, Jimmy. Apnea mask not treating you very well.
It's like I'm sleeping. Picture this.
Oh, God, that stinks.
Thank you. Take a fan and blow it through a toilet.
We don't have any.
Sad but true.
Remember when he thought he had Corey from Australia on the phone?
Oh, my God.
Oh, is that a good one?
That could be my number one.
Guys, he was so proud.
Yes.
That's the day.
He's like, guys.
I walked back into the office.
He walked in with such confidence.
And he looked at me in the face after you had talked to that guy.
Well, you got to set up the whole bit.
Okay,
because it's been way too long.
That's the
Who was
line,
Corey
though.
again? I don't even remember Corey.
Corey from
He was in the news
Australia.
for a second as this massive pop culture story.
Right, he was some crazy interview.
Yeah, he was this blonde kid who the reporter asked him to take his sunglasses off because he had thrown a party at his parents' house.
Right.
And the cops had come. And she was like, why don't you take your sunglasses off and apologize? And he's like, nope, not going to take my sunglasses off. They look cool.
Can we find the original clip?
Yeah.
I want to slow this down, and then we'll get to what Steve did. Because this was huge. What year was this?
2.5 million views.
2008.
Holds an alcohol-fueled party.
Yeah.
Well,
no, you can play the whole thing.
So,
Fuck it, a long version.
How long is it?
unsuspecting
3 minutes.
parents are on holiday.
On
16-year-old
holiday?
Corey Worthington is now facing not only the wrath of mum and dad, but a $20,000 fine from police. I spoke to him a short time ago. Corey, thanks for joining us. The only question that I can think to ask is, what were you thinking?
I wasn't really.
Did your parents say you could have a party?
No.
No.
Why did you?
I don't know, it was just a get-together with a couple mates at first, and then we thought we might as well just have a bit of a party, and then it sort of just got out of hand, and yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
500 people turned up, the air wing of the police force, the dog squad, your neighbours' cars were being destroyed. What have your parents had to say, Corey?
I haven't really talked to them because every time they call I don't answer, because yeah, they probably try to kill me.
So that's a short-term strategy. You're going to have to talk to them eventually. What are you going to say?
Sorry.
Are you sorry?
No.
Yeah, I am.
You don't sound very sorry.
But I can't be exactly blamed for everything that happened because it wasn't in the house, it was out in the street, and I didn't do it. Like, the police said, you stay inside so you don't get in trouble, so I did what he said, so...
Why don't you take this opportunity now to apologise to your parents
This fucking
and to your
bitch.
neighbours who have said today that they were frightened?
Well, I've already offered like to say sorry to them and stuff when I see them, so I will say sorry now for everything that happened.
Why don't you take your glasses off so we can see you, and then apologise to your neighbours for frightening them?
Nah, I'll leave these on. Nah, I like them.
They might be fined $20,000. Are you going to try and pay that for them?
Yeah, but I don't think it's fair they'll be fined it because what happened, it was my party, but it could have just been any random person walking in the street doing it. What happens all the time.
Your parents were out of town. You put out the invitation. You started it. Why don't you make a grown-up decision now and accept responsibility, take off those glasses and apologise to everybody
being
that
yelled
you
at by this bitch.
to the police who were forced to retreat and whose cars have been damaged,
Such a job
and
of
to
the
the
news.
community who've had to
give
pay
an
for
apology.
this.
Yeah.
Take off your glasses and apologise to us.
I'll say sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses.
Why not?
Because they're famous.
They're famous.
Because your glasses are famous.
Yeah.
Why are your glasses famous?
I know, everyone likes them, so I know, I'm not taking them off.
You're pretty happy with the way you look and the attitude you've got, are you?
Yeah, my parents aren't, but I am.
Okay, Corey, we've got to wrap this up, but what would you say to other kids who were thinking of partying when their parents are out of town?
Get me to do it for you.
Get you to do it for you. Not don't do it.
Nah, get me to do it for you. Best party ever so far. That's what everyone's been saying, so...
Well, we've got to go, but I suggest you go away and take a good long hard look at yourself.
I have. Everyone has. They love it.
Please let me hear that line again.
That kid's
oh my
great.
God,
That guy's classic. He's probably 2021 now, by the way.
Do it for you.
Get you to do it for you. Not don't do it.
Nah, get me to do it for you. Best party ever so far. That's what everyone's been saying, so...
Well, we've got to go, but I suggest you go away and take a good long hard look at yourself.
I have. Everyone has. They love it.
They love it. They love it.
They love it.
That's
Isn't she annoying?
She is.
Of
He's
course.
just like dressing him down.
Of course.
Like I'll play the parent here.
Yeah. Well, that was a massive story back in what, 2008?
Yeah, and so
And go ahead.
yeah, so everybody was talking about him, and Steve looked for him. We have all these databases and everything, and Steve believed that he had found Corey, and we spoke to an Australian gentleman on the show named Corey.
Right.
And Steve was so excited, and the minute the phone call ended, I walked back into the office, and Steve looked at me, and that's when he said,
Yes.
and that's how you executive produce.
That was the big line. That was it.
It wasn't 24 hours after he said those words to me, which immediately when he said that to me, I said, please, something has to happen. Not 24 hours after he said that sentence did we find out that the person that we were speaking to on the phone, the only thing that he had in common with this guy on the news was that they had a similar accent.
A similar
it was
accent.
not Corey at all, and you had been lied to.
But the guy went with it.
Yeah, the
that
guy
we did get on the phone.
The guy completely
and there was a
had you
confidence.
fooled.
Steve had such confidence that
Well,
day.
then it became anything that fucked up.
Right.
We would say, and that's how you executive
He
produce.
couldn't have said a more perfect thing
Right.
for a disaster.
And this is
Wait, and how did we
perfect.
find out that the Corey we had was fake?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either anymore.
Exactly how we found out, but Steve was forthcoming with it. And this is how good Steve was at being in the barrel and knowing what good radio was. You had him say on the air, that's how you executive produce, so you could have the drop. It happened off
drop,
the air,
yeah.
but he was willing to, with all his gusto, say it the same way he said it in the
Yeah.
office.
Do we have that?
That is, I think, is an enhanced replay. I don't have that in here.
I don't think I have it on my replay
We
now.
should find some of this stuff after the break.
That is so fucking funny. And that's how you executive produce.
And every time he messed up, it was boom, boom, boom.
People,
yeah.
What's the name of that video? We'll put it on our Facebook page. Opie and Anthony, one word. But,
Aussie Party dash Australia.
Aussie Party, AUSSIE Party / or dash Australia. Yep.
Some great shit.
That's how you executive produce.
But we had a fake Corey. Something
Yeah.
happened where we just knew it broke down by the end or something. We're like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem to be the Corey we're thinking.
And then
of.
whenever Steve came in with some kind of wacky idea or somebody was going to be calling or coming in, we'd be like, yeah, we have Corey on the phone. We just constantly bring that up.
Do we have any Corey production?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. We played it the other day. I'm trying to find it here.
Yeah.
And that was his. This where it's like we were talking about this on the after show last week.
Wow,
it was weird, but yeah, his shining moment. This was his shining moment.
Yes.
And it turned into the.
He reached out halfway around the globe.
Yeah.
To get Corey for us.
Yeah.
And that's how you executive produce.
Just blew up. Steve.
Yeah, yeah. Those are all of them.
What do you have?
This one.
No.
Oh, we use that one a lot.
No.
That was the famous because he was trying to explain his point on something.
And he went, no.
No, why?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, that was great.
You don't have the executive produce?
No, I don't have that one.
Oh, fudge.
I know.
I found the Corey production if you want that.
Yeah, of course we do.
Hello, is this Australia? Is Corey there?
I'm trying to call a continent.
Who would you like, mate? His name is Corey. Do you have a last name? No, but he's the guy from the news clip. Huh? Corey, the man on the computer. He has delicious nipple rings and a smooth chest.
Like me, could you please connect me with him?
Oh, hello, this is Corey.
It's him. It sounds he's got an accent.
Hi, do you have an XM? Huh? Okay, good. Could you talk to Opie and Anthony?
And that's how you executive produce.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
I remember doing all that. Yes, he's on the phone. It's from the computer.
So he just called a Corey in the phone book or something?
Oh, that's great.
But maybe the same last name?
But who would have thought?
I got to hear the Corey we talked to.
Getting the wrong Corey on the phone instead of just being a standalone, like, oh, yeah, we got that kid on the phone that time.
Yeah.
Turned into hours and days and months of radio.
Fuck.
My God, man.
Just want to take a break?
Corey. Yeah, sure. Sure.
We'll say this much: we're gonna get a fund, and I understand a lot of people are going through tough times, but if you could donate anything, that'd be great, because MJ is definitely gonna need some help for the foreseeable future.
Foreseeable future.
Oh man, right?
Yeah, I know. And she also said she needs for Xander to know that Steve was loved. So, is there a place where people could write about that? She
could
print
set
some
up a
stuff up.
Gmail address or
She's
something.
worried. She's like, I got to make sure, this kid knows, his father was loved.
Yeah, we can set up a Gmail.
We'll set up a Gmail account for that.
All right. We'll continue.
What is this?
All right, what's the problem? Oh, boy. What's the problem? What's the problem?
The Emperor is not happy with his coffee.
Oh, no. Are we going to have to break into...
Jim Norton. Coffee Diva.
Look at that cup. What brand is on that cup? I don't know. It doesn't taste good. I don't like it.
Where do we get our coffee every day?
I like Starbucks. And I don't like supporting the savages that run most of these delis.
You're insane.
Yup.
You betcha. You might be right.
Yeah.
What is this?
Hey, want to taste this?
Wow, that's really nice. Throw it against the wall.
I'm not that.
Diva.
I'm a diva.
I want Starbucks coffee.
You betcha.
Jim Norton. Coffee Diva.
I know Starbucks is a big world order type of thing.
At least they're not funding terrorism.
Who said life was all about following the rules?
Carlisi.
I'm a man of leisure.
This summer.
Greg Hughes, it's Mr. Carlisi. You're an asshole.
Find out what happens when one executive producer discovers he has 50 sick days and decides to use them all.
The Prius. If you have the means, I highly recommend you pick one up.
Starring Steve Carlisi.
I want to eat in that restaurant. I'm going to make a fake reservation with my new stomach.
And Steve Carlisi as Steve Carlisi.
Don't you know me? I'm Abe Froman, the internet king of Jersey. Look, the Foundry logo's on everything. We'll shake it up, baby, now. Twist and shout.
Coming every Monday.
A family member has days off, and you give him crap? You're an asshole.
Steve Carlisi's Day Off.
Life goes by pretty fast. If you don't take vacation time, you'll miss out on it.
Sirius XM. Yeah, this is the Opie and Anthony Show.